Okay. Can't seem to get a comfortable position. Let's go. Hello, hello, hello. Right, let us begin. We're going to be having a go at this Nomad hacker that we've got here. So yeah, we're going to be painting up this dude along with this, looks like a Monstrucker for the Nomads in Tag Raid, which is going to be swish. I have also got the Beast Hunter as well. However, I've just had to re-glue the harpoon launcher on. So we might have to give her some time to dry before I start doing any painting with her. But we can certainly get started with these guys. We're going to have to mark out all of the areas. Now, this is kind of like an example of the Nomads kind of color scheme a bit. They kind of got this lightish green, palish green armor. And then these, the cloth is either going to be reds, or it's going to be this kind of like pinkish purple kind of color as well. So yeah, we're going to be going with that, and then see where we go. This one's got quite a lot of those kind of colors all over the place, so we're going to have to figure out where everything gets painted. So the trousers will do the same as the same as this dude here, so we'll kind of get that dark purpley, dark pinkish purple. We'll give that one a go. We've got a lot of the armor bits here we're going to be green, but then like a lot of the jacket and things can be red as well. So we'll figure this one out as we go. I might do something cool, a bit different with the whole hood and stuff, just try and give him a bit of a unique look. We're going to probably do something similar with this girl here. I may give her the red, kind of like the red hat, but with the purple pants and the green armor about. But the shirt, we may go and do something different with that. Maybe just like an off-white will be, you know, I want to give like the Nomads something a bit more unique. They're a bit more kind of like all independent kind of characters. So nothing too much of a formula with them. Whereas the other corporations are a little bit more following a uniform. I feel like following a uniform with Nomads is not always the right way to go. They're a little bit more independent in that sense. So yeah, let's get it started. Let's get down some of the darkish pinkish purple that we're going to be putting down. So for that, I have a feeling like it's almost like a magenta. So let's get the magenta that we got here, but I'm going to just darken it down a little bit with a touch of black. I think that's going to be the way we go initially. So let's put that down there. It's pretty close to what we need. It just needs darkening, I think. Just a touch. So put down some of that on the palette there. We'll get our brush. Get the brush. And there we go, we've got that lovely magenta there. We get just a touch of the black. That's a bit too much. You see it's very dark there, so we'll get more magenta in. And then we're going to be getting closer to that kind of base coat that we want. There we go. It's just enough, it's dark enough there to be a base. We'll start with that, and then we'll kind of work our way up from there. So that's going to be like the initial coat that we go for. And it's a little darker than what we did for the other model. I can't remember, to be honest, exactly how I made that model. It's been a while, so more for me for that. But we can do an equivalence. And to be honest, if we can get it a little darker as a base, I think that works better for us, because we then get a larger range of light as we do the highlights. I'm just gonna do all their all their pants like this. We'll just kind of get in there. Get a bit of his leg there. It looks like he's got kind of like a bare legging. So we'll do the legs a bit of a skin colour there. I'm just gonna angle this just a little bit like that, and again knock over my light. Oh god, I can't wait to get the new light. It's gonna be so nice when I have that, rather than this weirdly rigged light that I've got going on at the moment. I'll get a bit more magenta in there, touch of black. There we go. Boom. Got the colour back again. Some bits there that we didn't base coat prime very well, so but that's okay. We get some of the purple on there. It should be alright. Hopefully we stay in focus. If not, I'll just force the focus on my camera there. I could have, you know what I really should have done before painting is deal with this seam line here, but it's not something that we're going to see very much of, but it is. I really should have filled that properly and smoothed that off, but oh well, it's going to be a bit of a shame on that one. I've got too many other models to do to perfect this one, I'm afraid. Too many projects in the oven. That's right. So okay, I'm gonna keep on mixing. We're gonna get some more of that magenta in there, a touch of that black, and just knock it down a bit. Maybe a bit more magenta. There we go. I'll add maybe a touch of the water just to thin it down a little bit there. There we go. I'm kind of going over a lot of bits that I'm gonna be painting over again, but right now being a bit rough is fine. We just want to get the initial coat on. It's a really cool model though. I like the pose and the kind of the attitude of the model. I think it's kind of a cool one. We'll get there. Okay, let's get a little bit of that on. That's really all of the purple I think we're going to be throwing down for the time being. The other parts of the model we're going to do some other colours, so we'll come back and do those later. But just for the paints, we're going to do this purple. We'll do the same for the Monstrucker type of character, the engineer. This also is a really cool character. The Nomads have some really cool models in Tag Raid. I was really happy with this guy. This one was just such a cool model. So much fun. He was pretty neat. Yeah, I can see probably my light's a little strong, so I'm going to probably just knock down the darkness a little bit. How are we on that? Is that a little bit better? That's probably a bit better. Let's just check. It's not bleeding out anything now. So yeah, that's probably a bit better for the light. There you go, you can see that a bit better. Okay. Okay, right, we're going to go in, get a bit more of that magenta for the trousers. Get that in there. Again, we're not going to be too worried about how careful we are at this stage. This is just the first initial coat, so we can clean up everything fairly easily later. There we go. There we go. I'll do all of the bags a different colour, so I'm not going to be worried too much about them. So if you can't see that. Just making sure we get all of that. All of the pants there. Sorry if you can't see there. Getting the angles on this one is tricky. Alright. That's basically all that she needs as well. Just give another little coating there, it's a bit thin. There we go, that's good. Okay. Next we're going to have to, excuse me. Next I think what we're going to do is we're going to hit up all of the areas of red. So this is an example of kind of like the red we're going for, the green to red. Going for here, it's kind of quite a warm red against a kind of a cool green, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're trying to go for. So for that, we want the initial red. I think we can still go for a wine red base and build up from there. I do like my wine red, so let's just throw that one down. Figure out what's going to be red now. I think we still do kind of a fair bit of it red here. So do the hood. Accidentally hit his fingers. having a red jacket here. Oh, some of that is actually going to be more part of the hacking unit on his back. Hard to see where some of that actually starts and ends. But if we just kind of, again, we'll hit it a bit rough, we'll just kind of get coverage for now, and then we'll come back and do more detailing later when we pick out specific areas for specific colours. Yeah, been a bit rough. I've kind of hit some areas of the trousers that will need to be redone a little bit. But we'll see how that goes. Just kind of seeing where does the jacket start and finish. It's kind of hard to see on the model. It kind of hides behind the backpack strap of the hacking unit on his back. It's kind of difficult to catch exactly where I should be finishing with this red. But that's okay, because what we can do is we can always just go over with the green later. This is the one where he's kind of, you can see a lot of his hacking unit is like running down the length of his arm up to his hand, where he will then play around with his kind of AR program, his augmented reality programs, to do his hacking. Whilst wearing the latest version of the Apple, whatchamacallit, the augmented reality glasses that he's wearing. Just make sure to cover that for a minute. We'll come back in a bit to figure out all the colours elsewhere. very hard to tell where this runs. Okay. I think that kind of covers most of the red that we need. Now, do we do the knees red as well? Knees could come red. Yeah. Okay. Right, we've got some initial coating for the red on this dude. Let's now do it for the Monstrucker character. Okay, so it's pretty much going to be your hat, isn't it? We might kind of re-color it in places later, but for now I'm just going to hit it with a lot of red. Right, that's a nice easy one. And then tank top, we'll do another colour. There we go. Okay. Is there anywhere else that I want to do red? I might just do these little bits that are lining here, just to break up the green that we're going to have on these boots. There we go. Right, they're in place there. Next, we're gonna basically hit up all the green now for these two characters. And with the green with these ones, we're gonna go with the flat green. This one here from Vallejo. Again, we're going to mix in a little bit of black. I'm going to mark out the armor areas. Mix in a little bit of black just to kind of get this nice deep dark green. That's our kind of base coat that will do stuff. Oh, hello there, Wadai. Nice to see you, and thank you for the raid. How are you doing, my man? Always good to see you. I was sitting here going, oh, it's going to be a little bit of a quiet stream today. It's always a quiet stream when I'm doing kind of like the initial work on a model. It's not the fun part, to be honest. Yeah. Nice. Alright, enjoy your breakfast. Did you have a good stream? I'll catch you in a bit anyway. Welcome. Did everyone enjoy what I stream? And welcome to the channel. We're painting some tag raid models. We're doing the nomads now. I'd finished doing the, these were the Kelenium Aya. Oh, I don't know. Oh, is it one of the, what's it? Is it KDM? Kingdom Death stuff. I finished up all of the Sterling Forge characters. I just got to base them. I got that guy, the Beast Hunter. I got the Engineer all done, and the Hacker as well, which was this one. Oh, actually, I haven't finished the Hacker. I've got to do the eyes for the hacking helmet that she's wearing. I'm going to do them nice and bright, so I will kind of get around to doing that one later, maybe. Right now we're doing the nomads. This is one of the nomads which was finished before, and it's kind of giving you some of the color scheme in there with kind of like the reds, kind of magentas and greens as kind of like the main color schemes for the clothing and armor. So we're going to be applying that at the moment. Actually, you know what? I should have base coated it blue. That's right. Oh, I forgot. That's something was very important. Is base coating it all in blue. A dark blue works up to green. Put down some of the blue that we use, and that's what we're going to do for the base coat. Just pop that on there. Okay. Basic blue, and then we work up the greens, so we kind of go through the different going kind of through the color wheel from a dark blue up through kind of a medium green, mixing in a little bit of ice yellow to go pale green, kind of almost like a forest green, and that's kind of like the range we're going to go for with all of the armor here. So we're going to do that for the armor, and we're going to do that for the hacking unit on his back, and the little goggles that he's wearing as well. Okay, right, that's a lot darker blue because of the green that we accidentally put on first, but that's not going to bother us too much as we build up the layers. We're not going to really see that too much. Really, it's just for the recesses to come through blue from the green that we've got. So that should be okay. Okay, let's get his backpack. This is his hacking unit that he carries on him. just be painting in there. I'll do the wires another colour, I think. But for now, that's okay. You should get that. We're going to get the strap as well. Maybe paint the strap another colour in eventually, just to change things up a bit, but for now we can mark it out with the blue. Okay, that should be right there. It's kind of a weird sculpt on it. I can't quite work out exactly where the straps are going, but we'll kind of go with that and see how it looks. If it looks funky, I'll just do something else with it, if I'm to be honest. Right, then his glove here is all got the blue on it. Okay. There's a bit on the other hand as well. To build that one up there. To be honest, I think we just match it. I think that's the easiest thing to do. For the time being, we can always work on that a bit later. Whoop. There we go. Let's keep it in focus, eh? Okay. For the blue, I think that's pretty much got us covered. Make sure we've got full coverage there. Ooh, a bit messy. But we kind of got it covered there. We're good. Okay. Now for old, what's her face? The Monstrucker type engineer. I'm gonna just, again, not too many, but mostly it's gonna be in her great big freaking moon boots. Imagine these are kind of like Gravlock boots, so you can do like engineering in zero-G kind of environments as well as on planet surface. Alright, let's see here. Get a bit more in there. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I think I had the my Sterling Forge. I was supposed to have the magenta lights coming from a number of places, so I have to go back and add them to my Sterling Forge when I get a chance, because that's what I got on the actual tag itself. There's a lot of these kind of magenta lights in all of the spacing in the armor. For now, we're just gonna get a lot of the base coat down for this. This I'm a brush licker, and this particular paint isn't particularly nice on the tongue. Try and do a bit less of it perhaps. Just get the hand here. Sorry, I'm out of shot there. I'm not kind of watching what I'm doing. glove there. The rest will be another colour. Anything else we want to hit up with the... Let's get those, I don't know if they're grenades or some sort of weird kits and things. Oh, hello there, FX. How's it going, man? Oh no, I was happy to help. It was, I'm glad. I hope it helped, is all. No, if anyone like throws up a question on the Discord, I'm happy to try and help people out. Are you starting on your next models and things? Or are you continuing to try and work on the one that you're doing right now? But you had a great start. Far better than my first models that I painted. And you're trying things which are not always that beginner friendly as well. So it's you know, you keep going with that attitude, you're going to grow as a painter very quickly. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, you got your torchlight brigade slowly getting there. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, that's right. Start off with just simple techniques first, and just do those simple techniques. I mean, the first thing you've got to build up is brush control and getting comfortable with the flow of the paint as well. Acrylics can be a little tricky because of kind of how quickly they dry on your brush as well, and getting the right consistency for being able to control the paint as you want it without it spilling everywhere if it's too thin, or clumping and getting lumpy if it's too thick. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's a good place to start. Like the simple kind of base coat, wash, highlight kind of approach is where a lot of people start out. I think it's a good place to be first, because it initially gets you some kind of decent results, and then once you're kind of comfortable doing that, and you want to improve, then you can start moving away from that and doing other techniques. But it'll give you some like decent results and giving you a chance to learn brush control as well. And once you're going to get those things down, then you can start branching out into new techniques and challenging yourself with different things. Ah, yeah, because you got synthetics there. So they're looking like this, right? But see that? It's kind of that, got that hook there. Yeah, the tag rig is going well there it's going all right. But that, yeah, like you see that hook there. It's a synthetic. You know there's synthetics in this. This was such an annoyance. This whole set of brushes that I got was advertised as being Sable brushes, Sable Kolinsky brushes, but it so clearly has synthetics in there because of the hook. So that was a bit of a disappointing Kickstarter thing that I did. I was like, well, I got a bunch of like cheapy brushes to just work through and use for the time being, but I went and got like if you want like and they're great for doing all of your base coating and everything like that and simple stuff like that. But if you want a brush, like just even getting one brush that you take care of that will kind of keep the tips and things. Now, are you in England? Because if you're in England, then you're going to be lucky, because there's a really good company that make brushes, and they're really nice brushes. I got these brushes here. You see that, nice tips and things like that. Oh, in Austria, it shouldn't be too bad. But Rosemary & Co. I like theirs quite a lot. I think they do a really good job. Not the Series 7 actually. I'm not using Series 7. I'm using Rosemary and Co. Kolinsky Sable. They're a company in I think in Yorkshire or something, or certainly the north of England. But they make these lovely brushes, and I absolutely adore them at the moment. I've been using them a lot, and they've been very good at keeping their tips as long as you take care of them. You know what? To be honest, like, still having a fairly big brush is still good, as long as the tip holds. That's the thing. I don't go too small. I want a decent size of the brush so that I have a decent belly. So the way the brush works is if it's too small and the belly is too small, what will happen is that when you're trying to do the detail work, when you load up the brush and you get to the model, it's already dried on the bristles and you can't apply it very well. So as long as it's kind of got a decent size to it, you load up the belly, but as long as the tip holds, it doesn't really matter the size of the brush. As long as the tip is fine, you can still do a lot of detailing work with that. And so for edge highlighting, this is nice. You kind of got a long edge to it as well, so that you can still kind of hit the sides very easily. This one, for example, this one is actually the Green Stuff World one, which when I was reading online was probably a rebranded Rosemary and Co. is what people were saying. It feels very similar to theirs. Yeah, like this one's like a number 2. So this one's got a very nice big belly, but it's still got a fine tip and things like that. And then I got a number 3 as well. That one's got a really big belly there, and it still holds a nice tip. Then I went for the Series 44 that they have, which are these very long brushes, because I wanted to try some of these long brushes just to see what it was like, and I got a 0, so it's a fairly small one, fairly thin one. But I've been actually finding this one really handy for doing eyes and things like that, because just like the length of it means that I can actually hold quite a bit in the belly, and as it just runs down, I can still apply a very fine layer. It's been working out pretty well for me. But yeah, Series 44 are like the really long ones there. And the Series 33 is, I think, the more common ones that the most miniature painters go for from the Rosemary & Co. I quite like them. They're pretty good. I got recommended them by another streamer, and they had a affiliate, and I was like, well, I'm back in England, so I'll get it sent to me. Now, I just remember that all brush sizes are relative to the company that makes them. They're not always a universal thing. Yep, the Rosemary is Sable. They're all Sable. So they're, compared to other Sables, they're not actually that expensive, I don't think. But it's still, you still pay a decent buck for them. But as long as you take care of them, they'll last you a long time. That's kind of the thing. But yeah. But I did used to have some Series 7 brushes. I used to paint with them. I quite enjoyed them. They're very, springy, the Series 7, but they're pretty expensive. And sometimes these days the quality's a bit off and on, I found. So Rosemary's worked out well for me. I quite like them. I'm kind of sold on them. You're pretty good. Okay. So, now what I want to do with the shirt here is I think I'm going to hit it with the heavy gold brown and then kind of work it up to an ivory, so it's kind of like a dirty yellow, no, dirty white for the shirt there. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, it's just to kind of give you an idea of where the sizes are, but yeah, they're not universal. It just kind of gives you an idea of like, okay, this one's a small one, this one's a large one, kind of thing. But yeah, one company's size 2 might be the equivalent of another size 0. You just kind of have, I just pick up a couple of brushes from the range and see where I feel it falls for me. Kind of difficult getting decent brushes here in Japan. Like the Green Stuff World ones are available and they're not too expensive, so I've been pretty pleased with mine. It's been pretty good. I'm not usually someone who I don't really like getting Green Stuff World stuff there. I've said this before on a stream. It's their business practices are not great in comparison to other miniature painting companies. They have some dodgy practice from time to time, but the brushes are good. I don't think the paints are very good. I've heard the paints are very kind of gel-like and not really fun to paint with. But the brush was good, and considering I didn't have any other choice here in Japan, I picked it up and was surprised by how nice it was. The Japanese brushes are mostly all synthetic. They don't really work with, they're not really made for the acrylics that we often use for miniature painting. They're kind of usually built for the ones with solvents in them and things, which is the common type of paint in Japanese scale modeling and things. Oh yeah. It's a nice set. It's a really nice set. I'm using quite a lot of the colours today for these. I'm just using a bit of Vallejo as well. But yeah, they're a nice set. Good for practicing colour mixing as well. So if you need to just make a paler version of the colour, like knock out some of the contrast, the saturation of the colour, then all you have to do is like mix in a bit of the black and the white, and they're both good blacks and whites. Oh, thank you. Oh, sorry about that. I just saw it. Yeah. Thank you very much. That'll be greatly appreciated. And then if you do buy them, I just hope you like them. But yeah, they're nice. They're nice paints. Nice brushes. But yeah, the AK stuff is also really nice paints. They flow nicely. I hope you find like the control for them is a bit easier, because you have to do less kind of thinning properly for them. I feel like they're out of the bottle. They're pretty. They have a pretty good flow, and they're pretty intense colors as well. So you can kind of get some really good contrast and brightness on them. Okay. going to do your shirt that's just under there. I feel like we should do something different from the Monstrucker. Yeah, so I really like Vallejo. The Vallejo is very nice, but Vallejo is very thick. So you got to thin it down, I find, quite a bit. And finding the right consistency can be a bit of a trick. But Vallejo, for me, is like... it's kind of like I can just trust it, you know? It's there for me. It's like an old friend, you know? Might be getting old from time to time and things, but it's you've always got a great choice of colors, and it'll always be there for me, and it's always pretty good. But I find some of the consistency is very thick, whereas when I started using the AK, I was like, oh, the AK kind of comes out a bit smoother. Like I don't know if it's like the medium that they've got in there, but the medium flows it very, very nicely, which is quite nice. Hello there, Aspire. How are you doing, my man? Right. So yeah, the metallic gold, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know, like the general metallics for Vallejo aren't supposed to be that great as far as I understand. They're not fantastic. I picked up some, I don't really paint with metallics, but I got recommended the scale 75 metallics were supposed to be very, very good. And so they got a whole range of colors of metallics and things. So I just picked up a few when I was back in England just to test, but I haven't really used them that much. My favorite thing to use is a Vallejo metallic, but it's kind of a tricky one to use because I kind of do a lot of mixing with it. So it's this one here, the airbrush colors here. It's really worth checking out what Marco Frizzoni does on his channel with these. He basically takes this, will mix it with some medium sometimes and with some inks and create his own kind of metallic washes. And this stuff just goes on so nice. It's so much fun to paint with, and you can make so many different colors, so many metallics with it. So this one's really, really fun to use, and you really only need this, and then you can mix in inks and create golds or other colors and things like that. It's really cool. Really like this one. It has such a lovely flow to it and things. It's a little expensive, but it'll last. It's good. Yeah. The Nocturna line is... I really like the Nocturna line in terms of the actual colors they have in them and what you can do with them. But yeah, some of them really suck. They separate really hard and like they dry in the bottle and things. A few of the colors are just not great for consistency. But in general though, I really like the Nocturna line of paints. I've painted some really fun stuff with them. I haven't got anything that's finished with it, but this character was like the skin tones all done with the Nocturna paints. I haven't finished it, to be honest, but I really, really liked how the Nocturna skin tones come out. They're really, really fun. But yeah, they do, like, they're really hard to keep nice. There's like some of the purples are just impossible to use at the moment. They just separated so badly in the bottle, even when I just bought them, and it was like such a shame about that. But yeah, these are kind of nice for the skin tones. I really like them. They're cool. Really got to finish this model sometime. She was kind of fun to do, but yeah, I got to finish it. She's been sitting on the back here for ages now. Yeah, thank you. It just takes a while to get them done, or feel motivated to do them sometimes. Okay. Where am I at with you? Okie dokie. What color am I going to do your shirt? Ah, maybe we actually pull out. Maybe we do. Okay, I'm going to actually pull out one of the Nocturna paints because I quite like their purples. Like this particular range of the purples, like the Violent Vamp and stuff, this is kind of nice. So I'm going to do his shirt in a kind of like a pale bluish purple. And we'll just put the base coat of that down. Yeah, they're from Tag Raid. So they had a Kickstarter. All these models can be used in Infinity, but they're from Infinity Tag Raid, which is like a 4-player deathmatch version of Infinity. And it's all about kind of mining prospectors fighting it out across the wastes of Dawn, of Kurland, on the planet Dawn, as they fight for the best Tesium-rich veins, whilst Dune worms are popping up to fight them as well. And you have like these mega beasts. So I did like a big dragon and things that goes with it. They're kind of cool. But yeah, this is basically a nomad hacker. This is the nomad engineer, which is the equivalent of a monstrucker, which is a common kind of engineer character, engineer class that many factions can kind of make use of. So you can use these in Infinity very easily. For Sterling Forge, the hacker here looks like a war driver, I forget which. So counts as for that. Engineer acts, looks just like an Ariadne 112 engineer medic kind of thing, basically a firefighter. The Beast Hunters as well also have profiles, so you can make use of Beast Hunters as well in the game. They're kind of cool. As well as the Prospectors. I've also got this is the oh, thank you so much for for subscribing, VX. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate it. This is also the Beast Hunter for the Nomads. She looks pretty cool. She's gonna be fun to paint, but I had to fix her, so I'm not painting her at the moment because I want the glue to dry properly before I start applying paint. Thank you. No, that's really sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So good luck with all of the painting as well. Let's see here. Oh, I've got to do the googles, the googly googles. Google's on. There we go. There we are. Okay. But yeah, really appreciate that. That was really nice, VX. Let's see. This Saturday I'm going to be streaming, but I'm probably not going to be painting on the stream because in about 3 or 4 hours, I guess 3 hours or so, the beta for the Aristea video game, Hexadome, is going to be going live. So lots of people will be, hopefully there'll be a lot of people playing it. So on Saturday, I'm going to be laddering on that game, testing it out. So if you're interested in seeing how that game plays, I'll be doing that on stream, I think on Saturday, which should be kind of a little bit of a different thing for me. But I really enjoy it. I enjoyed the last playtest they had. I was like, this is a really cool game. So I'm really interested in seeing how it can be improved. And yeah, it is an open beta. If you go to their website, you can get a Steam key. Oh, if you actually look it up on Steam, Hexadome on Steam, I think you can apply for the beta key, and you should be able to get that for while it's running. It looks pretty fun. I've been enjoying it a lot. I've already been playing it quite a bit, so I've kind of got my head around the game. It's really good. They've done a good job like adjusting and changing the game for to turn it into a video game rather than a board game. Still turn-based game, but with more kind of video game mechanics to make it a little faster. And yeah, like one game with someone is about half an hour generally, which is like that's a nice, comfortable length of time for it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And yeah, at the moment it's still in beta, so there's still problems and things like that and bugs, and not everything has animations yet, but it's still looking pretty refined, and I really enjoy it. It's nice. It's a cool game. It is a cool game. Let's get a bit of you going. Ooh, maybe a bit too much black. I don't know. Okay. Need a bit of water on that. It's a bit thick. There we go. Okay. So now I've kind of got all of the blue in place here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over all of these panels in the green, dark green. We're going to be leaving like the recesses in blue. It's just kind of help them pop a little bit more. So just try and do some of that today. Yeah, I should try and post. I should have tried to post a link up on my Discord or something, but yeah, the Hexadome game is coming along really nicely. I'm a Garter, so not Garter. I'm a what's her name? It's my favourite character, and I've forgotten her name. That's not very good, is it? It's the hacker girl. Lakshmi, that's it, Lakshmi. She's probably my favourite Aristo. Is usually a pick in my team. Yeah, I don't think she's such a common pick for other people, but I like her a lot for just buffing my side as much as possible. Okay, yeah, so you can see there's still some of that blue coming through. That's what we want to kind of keep in there as we go around. And we're just going to keep on building up the highlights, going a little bit lighter each time. we go. I'm being a bit rough with it, but that's okay. I'm just kind of, the way I'm using my brush is to go across the hand so that any kind of recesses kind of still stay blue, hopefully. And we just kind of get most of the panels that are easy to catch. All right. So then we're going to hit over here, these areas. And again, we're just hitting a lot of the large surfaces, but leaving a little bit of that blue in the background. That's what's going to kind of give us the nice contrast, and the blue kind of acts as a lovely shade for green. I'm going to have to get started on that angron soon, I think. But yeah. Okay. So now we've kind of got that green on there. Let's keep working on it. I'm going to build it up to the regular green. Might as well just work on this one model for now. A bit more interesting than going back and forth doing the same thing on two models. Right now we've kind of got the base coat on both of them, so that's all right. So now we go a little bit lighter. It's kind of like a slow process, but it'll look nice at the end, because you'll get the transition of color. So before I was mixing in a little bit of black into my green, now I'm just doing the pure green. This green is already still a bit dark. What we're going to then build up towards is kind of like a forest green, and then mix in a bit of ice yellow into that, and then that's kind of the range that we're going to go for. And get a transition across the different colors. Transition across the greens, should I say. There we go. Just keep building that up. What time am I on right now? Okay, I'm 11:50 here. getting a bit late for me. If we can get a little bit more of this green done, that would be kind of nice. If I can just kind of get the green looking nice here. So the green I'm going to be moving up to is using this game color green here. This one, the camouflage green. I'll do that. It's kind of like a foresty green, kind of a woody, swampy kind of green. It goes towards a little bit of a yellowish. Ooh, gosh, that's separated funny. So I need to find a space to mix it. There we go. It just needs a bit of a mixing. Make sure it's the right color. I think that's right. Yeah, it is. Just mix it with a bit of the previous green. It's interesting sometimes when you see the colours separate, you can see what the colour is actually made up of. Now I'm kind of hitting it on the surfaces where the light is falling on it. This is where it's still fairly liberal with it, but still hitting less of those spaces. How long have I been painting? It's I guess you could say about 10 years, but not seriously for 10 years. It's only more recently that I was like, I really want to paint. Some of it was just painting to get armies on the table and play games, but then as I kind of ran out, I wasn't able to spend much time actually playing many games or seeing many people to play games. It kind of switched into focusing more about actually learning how to paint and being a better painter. I kind of learned slowly, but steadily, kind of thing. So yeah, about I guess 5 or 6 years has been where I've been seriously trying to paint better. And like, it's only recently that I really started to do things like get involved in some competitions and contests. In the last few years I started doing that, and that helped me improve. It was nice winning, well, not winning, but getting a pretty high position at an Osaka showroom competition. So my work was on display for a while in Osaka. I want to go and do that again. I missed the last competition because of going back to England, but I'm going to try and get into the one after that. So I'll try and do it some more. But it's all about like the consistency of keep on coming back to your table and doing more. But it's very easy to kind of burn yourself out with painting sometimes, but for me it's mostly about chilling and relaxing. So the stream helps me, because the stream is basically my atomic habit for getting myself painting. So it's like, okay, 3 times a week I stream, so that's 3 times a week I'm definitely painting, unless I'm doing a video game. Which is very rare, but I'm going to be doing that this Saturday. I'll still try and get some painting in between if I can. You're putting in a lot of hours, a lot of effort for a competition piece. I'd probably say for the competition piece that I did fairly well with, I think I must have done maybe, I didn't actually spend that long on it, maybe 20 hours on the piece. which is not much for a competition piece, to be honest. If you look at anything that's done in like Golden Demon and things, oh my god, those guys spend like hundreds of hours on their models. So the idea is, what you do is you submit the model that you're going to paint, and then you have a deadline to get it done by. I was doing the miniature painting contest on the Reddit as well, on the miniature painters Reddit. But that is stiff competition. I was going in at the intermediate level, and to be honest, a lot of those intermediate painters are really freaking professional painters, to be honest. So it feels a bit like, really, it's kind of hard to say like who's intermediate versus who's advanced versus who's a beginner. It's kind of, everyone kind of lowballs themselves a bit, and some people put themselves too high. So there's like a lot of the advanced stuff that wasn't as good as a lot of the intermediate stuff. So you're like, I would have probably done better if I actually put myself in advanced. Just cause. This is just a rough go at everything, but if I was doing this for like a competition, I'd be taking a lot of time with maybe a finer brush and getting the consistency of the paint just right for doing all of these highlights, and thinking very carefully about where I put these highlights and working them back and forth a lot. But for this we're just kind of getting it done. So we just kind of go for decent look of it. Yeah, it's just difficult. I think a competition should just be a competition. You just enter it, you know, and you do as well as you do. At least you know where you stand in that. When you have kind of 3 different skill levels, it's like, how do you judge one skill from one kind of level of a painter to another? It gets very difficult and very tricky. I really don't like how that came out of the bottle. Kind of really goop in a weird way. So I'm going to give it another shake. I'm going to try and throw down some again. There we go. That's a little bit better. But I'm running out of space on my wet palette right now. There we go. That's the consistency we're after. That's a lot better. That's the paint I'm looking for. It's come out very glossy. Very kind of satin, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. So I'll be hitting this with an extra matte varnish when it's finished. So hopefully we can knock out some of that gloss. But hopefully we can see a little bit of that kind of change, that a little bit of that gradient coming out now. Thank you very much. It's passable. I don't think it's looking really good, to be honest. I'm not particularly happy with it, but it's as you do it more, you slowly build up these layers. It goes from looking like a bit crappy to, as you just kind of build up each layer, a little bit better, a little bit better. That's kind of like a lot of what the painting is. It's just like how much care and how much kind of how much work you put into the transitions that will make a model look a little bit extra nice, kind of thing. Like you could just do it with two colors, but the more transitional shades you put in, the smoother it's going to look, and the better the blend. Here, to be honest, we're not doing too many transitional shades, but enough to make it look like it's blending a bit. And I'm not being particularly careful with it. I'm using a fairly big brush, and I'm just kind of slapping it on, just slapping a little bit less each time, that's all. The next bit you can try and do is we're going to mix in a little bit of ice yellow with this particular green. It will make it a little bit paler, but lean it a little bit more towards the yellow spectrum as well. Okay, there we go. That's kind of got that initial bit of green there. Let's just add on a little bit of icy yellow, and then we're kind of good. Sorry for the shaky cam there. I think we may just switch the brush as well for this. So ice yellow is a little bit of a magic thing for every time you want to kind of raise the brightness, like the brightness of a color, without losing too much of its saturation. Ice yellow works really nicely because yellows kind of keep things saturated. So mixing in a white mutes the color to let you kind of lose the saturation of the color. But an ice yellow will kind of keep a lot of the saturation going. So if I put some of that there, we mix that in there, makes for a nice, I'll get a bit more in there, I think. There we go. There we go. So now, I'm going to get a little bit of water in there. We're going to thin that down a little bit, so hopefully it flows a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. So yeah, because I've thinned that one down, it's a little bit translucent, so it's not going to be too bold. We just smaller area, we're not doing it all, so we get a bit of a transition across, and we're just kind of hitting the areas where we think the light is going to be hitting it the most. And that just kind of makes it a little bit of a greater contrast in the highlights to the recessed shadows. So going down from this kind of very light yellow green right down to a blue, and that's the transition we're going across going down the color wheel almost. So we're not just doing things green, we're taking green and on either side of green is blue and yellow. So we go from the dark blue up to the lighter yellows. And that's kind of how we're getting that transitional effect across. You could do it where you just do it like with just greens and you go from blacks to whites as well. But then you're losing a lot of color saturation. And I like to have color saturation. I like it to look a little bit bold, if possible. Top surface is more, since that's where it's catching the light the most. There we go. Kind of get this particular color on, and then we could possibly go up just a touch, one touch more for a final highlight. I don't think it'll overdo it, but it might be nice just to go up one stage more, just for very, very small areas of it to catch, just really make it pop. So I'm now doing it with this finer brush, so the paint is drying faster on the end of my brush, so I have to keep on going back to my wet palette more often now. Go. Okay, let's try and get the his AR helmet. Very cool. Yeah, I'm liking the green. It's coming across as I intended, I think. kind of like a fairly quick style. Okay, so I'm going to try just going up a little bit more with the next kind of level with ice yellow. Make that just a wee bit lighter there. Make sure to add a bit of water, just a touch, just to thin that down a little bit, because we don't want it to be too thick, otherwise it's going to kind of glob, and we don't want it to glob. We just want a fairly translucent film going up to a little bit more of a highlight. It's a very small touch. It's only on some parts where we're catching the most light that we want to do this. So I'm just gonna kind of go in where it's facing up the most, as if we're like looking down on it and it's just shining. Like the sun is shining down on the model, and that's where we're kind of catching the most light. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I want to do any more of that. Yeah, I am up quite late. It's now 1:15 midnight for me. So yeah, hello there, Silverbrush. I am up a little bit late today. But, and to be honest, yeah, it's 12:15 and I've got a busy day tomorrow. So I am actually going to call it there as I finished up with the green. I'm pretty, it's kind of getting there. No, this is usually the time I stream, but this is usually the time I finish my stream and things. Oh no! Just noticed the what? The Oh, it's Martin. Oh, hi, Martin. I should have known when you said a wee shite. So. Oh, yeah, the band. Okay, yeah. Now I'm kind of getting into it. Okay. All right. So yeah, nice to see you, Martin. Yeah, I'm afraid you're catching me as I finish now. I've just wanted to get that green down. So we worked on some highlights and things, whilst everything else is very flat. We've been working on this guy here, a Nomad Hacker, and we've started working on this girl here, the Nomad Engineer as well. So nice little starts for them. We'll carry on with those later. But yeah, on Saturday I'm going to be streaming, I think, the Hexadome, which is the video game adaptation of Aristea, which is like the greatest board game ever made. But yeah, I'll be off now. So thank you very much. And Fiax 14, thank you very much, and thank you so much for the subscription as well. Really appreciated. That's absolutely fantastic. And I'll catch you guys later. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.